Hey YouTube people, today we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung 256GB Evo Plus micro SDXC card. Now it's pretty amazing you can have that type of space in something the size of your thumbnail. And it's really a game changer for phones, especially with the new Note 7, which we'll be taking a look at this card in. Now I'm going to try a little bit different format in this video. I know I can be extremely long-winded in these videos. I'm really going to try to be straight to the point with this one. Basically, we reviewed the Samsung Pro Plus 128GB card and the 200GB Sandisk card and kind of compared them with each other just recently in the past few months. So I'm going to kind of do a little refresh, including the statistics from this card right here. So without much ado, we'll go straight to the results. I won't put you through me doing the whole test setup and everything. We'll just take you straight to the results so you can know, is this card worth it? So let's go ahead and take a look.
Okay, so first we're going to look at the theoretical benchmarks, and starting from the top with the Samsung 256 Evo, we see a sequential write speed of 82.61, which tops the chart of all the cards that we are comparing here. The second runner-up is the Samsung 128 Pro and the write speed, and then the Sandisk Ultra 200 with the write speed that you're seeing there. Keep in mind though that this Sandisk Ultra in our last test video, we saw that it had a pretty decent 60 megabytes a second write speed is pretty good, but it can't sustain that at all. It has kind of a burst on it where it uses some faster flash before falling down to about 15. So where these Samsung cards can really sustain this high write rate. So that's a little misleading on the SanDisk right there. So don't take that into account too much. But anyways, no matter how you look at it, the Samsung 256 Evo in the write and the sequential read speeds on this theoretical test tops the chart. The 128 Pro Plus not too far behind it. But let's move on to the 4K reads and writes, and the story changes a little bit. So the 256 Evo Plus does outperform the 128 Samsung in terms of writes, and of course the Sandisk Ultra as well, the 200 gigabyte. But the Pro card, and keep in mind the Pro class cards are supposed to be a little bit better anyways, it actually has random reads that surpass the 256 Evo Plus. So that's the one area where the 128 Pro still outperforms it. So continuing on, let's look at real world performance. Now we did a test where we copied a 3 gigabyte file from a very fast drive onto each of these micro SDXC cards. And as you can see, it took 44 seconds for that 3 gigabyte file to copy to the 256 Evo Plus, which was the best speed. It topped the 128 Pro Plus. And I really like these real world file copy tests because they really show the performance that you're getting. Look at the 200 gigabyte Samsung card. Even though it had a pretty good read rate in a theoretical test, in real world testing, it's just so much slower. That's time in seconds there. And it takes 4 or 5 times longer for the same file to copy to that card. So really, I would avoid that card if you have the ability to just spring for the 128 Pro or the 256 Evo Plus. So continuing on, this is basically the same write speed test, read speed test in real world benchmarks, copying files. So we saw that the 256 Evo Plus could maintain 85 megabytes a second in reads and 72.54 in writes, which is pretty awesome, especially the fact that this is an Evo card, not even a Pro card. So it really did quite well. So the 128 Pro also is an outstanding card. I was able to get a write rate on the Sandisk Ultra 200 gigabyte, but this this retest I never performed when I did the last video, and I do not have that 200 gigabyte card on hand. It's a slippery little bugger. It got lost. So anyways, let's go on and look at the difference between the S7 Edge and the Note 7 with these cards. Now these are all write speeds that we're looking at, and we're looking at them on the Note 7 and the S7 Edge. So one thing you'll note is the speeds on these cards can only be taken advantage of in, well, at least the sequential writes, you know, the large file writes can only be taken advantage when you're actually using a reader that supports that actual fast bandwidth. So for example, we could fully saturate that 200 gigabyte card because it just couldn't, the card itself could not go faster than 14 megabytes a second. But on these faster 128 cards and even the 256 card, the limitation was not the card itself. The limitation was the card reader on each of these phones. So as long as your micro SDXC card can maintain 45 megabytes a second, it's going to saturate the controller at that point. But the interesting thing here is, you know, that's not the whole picture. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit, but the whole picture is it's not always about the sequential write speed. Sometimes it's more about the 4K speeds and how fast it can kind of access smaller files quickly and access times. So there's more to the picture than just how much data an SD card controller can push through. But this is, you know, the test we have to go off at this point. So anyways, the interesting thing to me is a lot of people have said, you know, the S7 Edge is not as well. The Note 7 is simply an S7 Edge with an S Pen, but you can see from these benchmarks that everything is improved on the Note 7. It's got better controllers, better SD card controllers, better NAND that allows it to support 45 megabytes a second versus the 24 megabytes per second that the S7 Edge did. So that's pretty interesting there. But all in all, you can see from all these benchmarks that the Samsung 256 Evo Plus is an excellent card, tops the charts on almost every benchmark that we look at. Despite being an Evo card, it handily beats the Samsung 128 Pro Plus and of course the Sandisk 200 gigabyte. For the money, you know, we probably have to do a price per gigabyte comparison, but if you want the fastest, most capacity card, the 256 gigabyte Evo Plus is definitely the card for you. So thanks for watching the video. If you like this new format, please let me know in the comments. If you still think this video is too long, I don't know what to tell you. I do what I can. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll keep bringing you these great videos. Thanks.